Some say it was all caused by a virus. And truthfully, it's much more logical than some apocalyptic event of biblical proportions. A virus sounds more likely something tiny, invisible, carried within us. A collection of molecules, a set of commands, fragments of microscopic codes that float wherever there is life, waiting to attach themselves to any living creature and to unleash their malicious program upon it. Yes, a virus sounds to me a much more likely call.
You can help instead of just sitting there. Are there any more?
For only a few seconds.
Charges are ready!
What are you waiting for? Work your magic.
sure you want to forget about the doctor thing?
If someone's badly hurt, he dies. If someone contracts a disease that requires medical attention, he dies. We don't need a doctor.
We don't need a doctor, but we want one. Why take a risk?
You want one. You think a doctor can give you more information. Forget about it. It's a waste of time. All that's left is to keep moving and attacking, as fast and as fierce as possible, until they die from lack of food and water and become extinct.
Information is power. We need the information so the initiative remains in our hands.
Not that kind of information.
Well, what about hiding in some remote desert until this whole thing blows over? In the desert, we'll need a medical expert for sure. Trust my calculations, all we need is 2 trucks loaded with...
It's too dangerous. They can always turn up when we're least prepared, and then we'll be trapped.
That's not true. Come on, remember when we met after everything fell apart?
You were sitting on your ass, waiting for a sonic boom and a downpour of nuclear warheads to cleanse the place.
Only if they're bombers. I told you, if they're ICBMs or cruise missiles, you won't hear a thing before the explosion. But we digress. Look, at one point or another, we'll need to settle in one spot, and we'll need someone with medical know-how.
When settling in one spot is an option, perhaps. But until then, my way is the only way. Keep moving, keep attacking, when we say when, where, and how. But that's not the issue, is it? You're simply dying of curiosity. And curiosity will get you killed.
So I'm curious. So what? I don't get you. Aren't you even a bit curious? You wake up one day and everyone around you has turned into mindless, bloodthirsty, pissed-off zombies, and you don't want to know how or why it happened?
No, I don't.
Besides, I need to renew my chemical stock. Not to mention, it's my turn to choose our next destination.
A deployment location where we can prepare for an ambush.
Agreed, then. A hospital. You choose the one.
Abracadabra, let her relax.
Let's go.
You know your way around the hospital?
Yes.
Room 318, Ward C. Go there. Lock yourselves in and wait. Go!
How unlucky can you get? Like I'm looking for a doctor and we find a nurse and a girl instead.
My sister isn't a nurse, she's a senior doctor. And I'm not just some girl who...
You've revealed too many details to two complete strangers before we've even asked a question. There's no time for this. We have to get out of here.
It's okay, it's okay. It's one of ours. We booby-trapped the entire place. That's not right.
I suggest whoever's standing behind that door, you better move before I blow this door to bits.
Should we run? Before?
No time. Turn over the bed.
I'm coming in, don't shoot. Yeah, I get it now. You're the one who set up that nice little kill zone out there. Nice. Very nice. Now all you have to do is just stand there and pull your trigger.
What do you want?
What do I want? What do I want? Look at this. Look at this! They got me. I'm infected. You get that? I'm fucking infected! Now what I want is for you to take this thing out of me. I want a cure. You understand? A cure! And you're gonna give it to me. You out of all people. I knew you'd come here eventually. You and your kind. Now what I want is for you to take this thing out of me.
You know him?
Yeah, you can say we know each other. All my life I've been hunted down by his kind. What are you? A general? No, you're a bit too young for that. Maybe a captain or major. Nah. You're a colonel. Yeah, you must be a colonel.
He's right about one thing. Part of my job was to hunt down freaks like him. So yeah, you could say we know each other.
Don't patronize me! You're not in a position to patronize me! I'm holding the cards now. They can't see me. I'm infected. That means I'm invisible. Truly invisible. So you better come up with something quick. You better come up with something or else...
To the exit, now!
So do you know him or not?
Not personally.
Should have killed him when we had the chance. You let him out of the room. You pitied him? As if you did, that's the first time you let any emotion get the better.
It doesn't matter. He's dead. And you have your doctor.
I know you were a soldier, an officer. I guessed that. Must be hard aiming a gun and shooting at someone. Not infected, I mean. On second thought, he said he was. Do you understand what he meant by that?
Forget it. He's dead.
And you better stop asking questions before you expose more details to two complete strangers.
So you're a doctor. I'm sure you understand these things better than us. What do you think he meant? That he's not infected? I mean, someone who's infected turns into... I mean, you know, how can he be infected and still control himself? It has an incubation period. Okay. How did he get infected in the first place? He had to have been infected by one of them. I mean, those wounds didn't look deep enough to be animal bites. You think that...
Let it go. There'll be time enough for your questions.
It must be almost 9 o'clock. If you turn the radio to...
That's right. We almost forgot it's almost 9. You listen to him too?
Yeah, of course, every day at 9. Do you think it's him talking or recording?
I don't know. Someone broadcast him. Must be...
Manually operated radio broadcast or a pre-recorded program that comes on every day at 9.
Wait, you are worrying me. I'm supposed to be the cynical one, the skeptic, though not without feelings. You're the son of a bitch, remember? The purposeful one who lacks emotion, stays on the move, and...
Come on, let's go. It's probably already started.
Perhaps it came with the rodents. Small, elusive, merciless, spreading disease and death. At times eating the remnants of the strong, other times preying on the weak. Emerging from their dens at night, raiding dinosaurs' nests, devouring their eggs, systematically destroying the mighty creatures. Perhaps that's the nature of progress, the new devouring the old. Tears it into thousands of tiny pieces until it perishes. Perhaps progress is, in its essence, a type of extinction. Unavoidable, like the time and death that accompany it.
Step into my office.
Remind me what it is we're doing here exactly?
We are setting up traps for the kill zones. Then we lure the infected, and we butcher them. I know it sounds absurd at first. Our initial instinct is to entrench ourselves in one spot, or if you don't want to get trapped, simply run away or stay out of trouble, but...
No, I mean, I get that part. We're in charge, we chase them, not the other way around. What I mean is, what are we doing here with all of this water and... electrodes?
Electrodes. Well, we are dividing the waters from the waters and making a firmament that we will call heaven. It's electrolysis. It's breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen. I'm hoping to create a large enough amount of hydrogen in a closed space so that at any given moment, only a small spark and everything explodes, everything. In theory, of course. Truth is, I tried it several times, it didn't go so well. I guess I couldn't create a large enough amount of hydrogen in the closed space to get a substantial blast. I don't know, maybe I didn't seal the spaces well enough, or maybe I didn't have enough containers with electrodes, but whatever the reason, we're doing it now.
That's beautiful.
Thanks. I'm glad somebody appreciates my originality. Not him, though. TNT and gunpowder. That's all he cares about.
I mean the metaphor. It's like God, turning water into the heavens.
That? That's not original. This religious fanatic joined one of the forums I managed once. Some scientist or pseudoscientist, I don't know. The kind that tries to explain the scriptures through science, you know? Anyways, he raised the theory that this is how God created the heavens, by transmitting an electric current through the prehistoric waters. It's a good theory, but I didn't let him off that easy. I asked him, hey, where did the nitrogen in the air come from? Still waiting for an answer.
Where the nitrogen came from, or how the heavens were created?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
What's it for?
You sound just like my father. Why does everything have to have a purpose? Why can't we do things just for the sake of doing them? Do you like it or not?
Aesthetically, yes. But
But it serves no purpose, right? Say, don't you think beauty has a purpose of its own? That it can exist just for the sake of, well, beauty? Can't we do things for no reason at all? Say, eat something because it tastes good, or hear music, or draw a picture just for fun?
all right, if you're done, let's go over what you learned about the rifle.
Can't believe you. Just like him. Purpose, purpose, purpose.
There can be beauty in purpose and function too, you know. Well, look how.
They're entering the fucking building!
Follow me. Go, go, go! One entry, weapons that way.
We need to leave!
Negative. Outside, they can close in on us from all directions. Here, there's only two directions. And according to you, the rescue's on the way. As soon as it arrives, we'll make a run for it and get out of here. Grenade. The rescue's here. Move!
Get in!
Go, go!
This is the second time they attack us instead of us waiting for them. Something's not right.
It doesn't mean anything's wrong either. What is wrong is for the third time we've been attacked from the direction you've been observing. And instead of working on her shooting skills, you're playing the alchemist.
You still owe me an answer.
Well, I answered you. From what I've seen with my own eyes, the time between infection and outbreak shifts from a few seconds to several minutes. But I've only seen a few cases, so I can only go by that.
That's the same as what I've seen up till now. And that's what I read in all the official reports before everything fell apart. But that guy at the hospital,
We have no reason to believe he was actually infected.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I feel like he wasn't lying.
We don't know what this thing is, and we don't know how it's transmitted from one person to another. And we don't know who he is or what he is. In any case, I'm not the right person for this discussion. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. But if you insist, you've got him. Now, if you don't mind, I have more important matters to attend to. Take a quick break, drink some water, straight back.
Purpose, purpose, purpose. This way is just like Dad.
You're right. But he's not. Don't fall into that trap.
Are you sure it's not too soon?
You fired more weapons on the range than most recruits do during weeks of basic training. The sooner you get used to killing, the sooner they will get this thing over with.
How long will this have to go on? How long will we have to make traps and wait around with guns and kill?
Just a few more months, sweetheart. I promise, in a few months, this nightmare will be over. And we'll find a quiet spot where we can put all these horrible things behind us. Okay?
One must always make traps. Stand by with weapons, wait. It's never really over. They're merely respites, that's all.
You don't really believe that. That's a strange way of looking at things. Through a rifle sight, with no hope for something better, something else.
It worked! The vapor bomb, it worked! Oh, you should have seen it. Oh. The moment it went up, they were bombarded with a cloud of steam. They were totally blinded. Oh, you should have seen it. All the water turned into steam inside the container and
a few charges would have done the job. Probably even better.
Then maybe that's how the heavens were created. A huge heat source, boiled the water, but it's only steam.
No. Okay. If the temperature is high enough, and I mean really high, the water disintegrates into its elements. But
now the chemistry lesson is over and we have real work to do.
Are there any more?
It is possible they killed each other. The predatory dinosaurs simply disobeyed the laws of balance, just like man. Perhaps one or several dinosaurs became so skilled at killing that they eradicated entire species. I know it doesn't sound likely. After all, the ecosystem was supposed to intervene. The more the population of prey decreases, the smaller the population of predators becomes, allowing the prey to recover and so forth. The only exception to this equation is man. But how do we know man is the only one?
Before all this began, I used to watch these scenes for hours. To observe the basic power, the creation of matter from nothing. There's no greater truth than that.
We're out of here.
Did you pick anything up since everything went quiet?
No. Just the guy with the dinosaurs, that's it.
Do you think there's still a government out there?
There's always something. That's what civilization's all about, isn't it? Someone tells others what to do, gives them orders, and in return, lives at their expense. It's flawless.
By your definition, if there's no government, then there's no civilization.
I don't know. If there were a functioning government, they'd probably cleanse the entire area with nuclear weapons. Then we wouldn't be here. And maybe it'll still happen. Who knows?
Well, in that case, we won't know anything until it's over.
Oh, well, that all depends. If they're ICBMs or cruise missiles, you won't hear a thing. But if they're airplanes, then you have two options. Subsonic bombers like the B-52s, and then you might just hear the jet airplanes approaching right before the blast, or supersonic bombers like the B-1, and then
You won't hear a thing because, well, they're supersonic, but you might just hear a sonic boom right before it all comes crashing down. And there'll be this bright light and this intense heat. And then you won't hear a thing.
You're smiling. This is the first time I see you smiling.
Finally, someone else who can drive crazy with his conspiracy theories. Did you tell her what he did before all this began?
No.
He had a website where he refuted conspiracy theories. Now he's the greatest believer of all.
Occam's razor. It's usually the most simple, most logical explanation of all. Think about it. Where did all the functioning governments disappear all of a sudden? Why is there still electricity and running water? You tell me. It must be biological weapons. I believe that. It's the most logical, most simple explanation.
Your turn to stand guard.
Who did you lose?
More than enough. You?
You're always on the offensive. You never sit back and rest?
Always. It's all right. I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
Everybody. Everything. As bad as it gets.
Husband? Parents? Kids?
Cousins, uncles. As I said, the worst.
Things can always be worse.
I see. Look, I know everything looks dark. I understand your point of view, but things change.
Not for me. Most of my life, I have killed and witnessed killing. I have been responsible for the planning and development of ways and methods of destruction that would be incomprehensible to a person like you. So as far as I'm concerned, nothing's changed.
But surely not like this. Not women and children. Not your own family. Look, my entire life I've seen people die suffering from all sorts of illnesses. But at the same time, I've seen others who healed and grew as people because of that suffering. So you're right. Nothing's changed. That's exactly my point. I know that even now there is hope.
We shot 4 or 5 are in pursuit and there's still more.
This is the third time. This is not an accident. Someone's leading them to us.
To the next hideout. Move!
beginning to think it's that guy from the hospital. After all, he survived all of our traps. And he said something about them not seeing him. Could be they're not attacking him for some reason, just like they don't attack one another. What do you think?
He could be guiding them to us, then running away. It's not unlikely. Devise a plan. If he really is leading the infected to us, we'll have to neutralize him.
It's 11 o'clock and we missed the broadcast. It's the first time I'm missing the broadcast.
So you think they do know each other?
I don't know. It's not so clear-cut.
You said for a fact that he should have killed him at the hospital, but he didn't. That's not like him. I mean, I don't know him very well, but that's not like him at all.
I know, I've never seen him hesitate like that. But then again, I've never seen him with a live person before. I mean, a healthy person. I mean, not infected. Look, he's obviously a professional soldier. Could be that shooting citizens in the back is just against his basic nature. You know, the ethos of the honorable warrior and all that. Actually fits in well with his type. I gotta say, that's exactly what I assumed when I first met him. Way too young to be a general, too confident and experienced to be a major or a captain. I don't know. But we should probably get back to the others. They're probably beefing up security as we speak. If someone really is leading the infected to us, we should probably set up as many charges as we can. We are out of hiding places.
What is this?
It's a little experiment I'm conducting. I'm creating land from water. See, the cage is in a body of water, and I'm running a faint current through it. The current makes the particles inside the water stick to the cage. According to the theory, enough particles should stick to it over time to create a small island where you see the cage.
We should probably get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
This is really nice.
Thanks.
If he's really following us, he's familiar with this place. That means he'll be guiding the infected to us tonight or tomorrow. You have a plan?
I always have a plan. That's how you put up with me, isn't it? Or maybe you enjoy me driving you crazy.
should have known. Like always, you were hunting me down, like a cat playing with a mouse.
Don't move. Don't move.
I get it now. They think they should be afraid of me. Hate me. Me! He's the one you should be afraid of. He's the one who killed his entire family. Tell them, Colonel. Tell them who you really are.
Don't move!
I suggest you stand still and raise your hand.
All of them! With his own gun! From point blank! His mother, his children, his little niece, a 2-year-old baby. They're right. They're absolutely right. You kill one person as a civilian, you're a criminal, a murderer. You kill one person while wearing a uniform, you're a hero. A civilian killing 20 is a psychopath, a serial killer. But a soldier, he gets a medal.
Stop it!
And if by any chance you're responsible for the death of hundreds or thousands or more, you're a national hero. Kill millions, you're a god. They write poems about you. You become the stuff of legends.
Stop it, I beg you!
They are afraid of me. They despise me. When all this began, he still had soldiers under him. He could have helped his family to solitary. Take care of them. Help them out. At most, send one of his troops to take them out of their misery. But no. No, not him. He went by himself to put a bullet in each and every one of them. Right in the head. Execution style. So here he is. A decorated hero. A noble man of honor. Nothing but a psychopath in the service of the law. Nothing more. His mother. His children. From point blank. Tell them, Colonel. How does it feel murdering your whole family?
No! What the fuck? You could have waited a little longer. It looked like he had information. You could have waited.
I've seen it before. He was about to die.
And you? Did you know him or not? Why'd you hesitate again instead of just killing him? Why'd you hesitate this time?
What's the difference? He's dead. Another attack. Take up your positions.
meteor, yes. After all, what can cause such sudden extinction other than some external element coming out of nowhere, obliterating everything? Like a Hollywood disaster movie or an apocalyptic myth. Or is it no more than a reflection of one of our greatest fears, the total lack of control over our fate? The knowledge that no matter what we do at any given moment, the end is lurking. Absolute and final, gigantic, burning, unstoppable. Of course, there is the possibility they did see it, but simply never understood what it was. Perhaps it's before our own eyes as we speak, and like the dinosaurs, we can't see or hear it. Like an annoying beep that your brain simply writes off after a while.
So, did you know him or not?
When I told you to prepare the hideout, I asked you to kill the fish in the aquarium. They attract cats, and if they die, they'll attract worse than that.
You didn't answer my question.
The time and energy you spent on that automatic nourishing device. We don't have time for that now.
Did you know him or not?
I told you. I didn't know him personally, and he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
The truth doesn't matter. You're hiding something from us. You know how all this started, how it all began. You know. You know how all this started.
What difference does it make? What I told you or didn't tell you is nothing you couldn't have figured out for yourself. Yes, it was a biological weapons experiment. Yes, it got out of hand. Yes.
So you knew. This entire time you knew, and you didn't tell us. You knew how all this happened, and you...
The same way you knew. I don't understand why you're feigning innocence. Didn't you ever stop to think why the infected don't attack one another? Why they only attack the healthy? You, with all the conspiracy theories? Wasn't it obvious to you from the start that the most logical explanation is a biological weapons experiment that got out of hand? I mean, what would it achieve for me to tell you something you already knew? Jesus, scientists. It's your obsessive curiosity that got us here in the first place. If it wasn't for the geeky obsession of people like you with the truth and the how and the why, we wouldn't be here right now.
Look, I understand your anger, but...
Just like he sat at his computer developing software viruses, his friends and colleagues were developing things that were much, much worse, and he could have easily been one of them. If you care so much about the truth, don't lie to yourself. We're all sons of bitches. That's the truth. So don't feign innocence as if you didn't know, just because I hid or didn't hide something from you. I don't have time for these ridiculous discussions. We have a large explosives arena to prepare by noon. In the last few days, we burned our traps faster than we could build them. We have to close the gap. Now, don't fool yourselves. It won't get any better. The infected are getting more and more violent and aggressive. If we stop dictating the time and the place, they're gonna kill us all. Now get some rest. And take lower floors when we rest.
Don't judge him too harshly. You heard what happened. He had to kill his own family by himself. He didn't just lose everything. I used to have this argument with my father about euthanasia. Would I have the courage to do it? If and when?
Don't fall into that trap. He's not Dad, remember?
Let's go.
Tadpoles? It's amazing, even frogs will fucking spawn here.
Hey. You mate and procreate, please.
So you're saying, if we find some random fish from an abandoned pet store and put them together, they'll, mate and procreate?
Absolutely. But we really shouldn't, because I intend to electrocute the place at some point.
Yeah, but, they'll have a chance to make some love before it's over.
Now I understand why you don't like to talk about it. I'm sorry. Your wife? Children?
Parents, siblings, a niece, everything. Everyone. With my sidearm, at point blank, just like the man said.
The worst. I'm sorry.
There's always something worse.
I treated a terminal patient once who applied for a court order to switch off her life support machine. You know, to allow her to die in dignity. When the order came in, the woman insisted that only her youngest daughter would actually do it. You know, would actually pull out the plug. That girl lived on the other side of the world. It took him a whole week to trace her and another week for her to finally arrive. All through that time, the mother suffered through hell. We begged her to end it, but she insisted on waiting. Now, after the girl arrived and everything was over, I had a chance to speak with her. When she spoke of her mother, she spoke of a cold and harsh woman. Somebody who was always criticizing and demanding. Never caressing or accepting, comforting. But she said she would have forgiven everything if her mother had just told her once that she loved her. At that point, I stopped her and I said, "Your mother didn't just say she loved you. She screamed it out loud halfway across the world."
10-minute break, then prepare the charges. We're not keeping up. This can't go on. We must keep up.
I was sure on the beach.
I am not the beach type of guy.
That's because you didn't know my dad. 1 week with him and you totally become a sea guy. He's really a pirate deep inside. Or at least a professional fisherman. He always talked about a Viking burial ceremony at sea.
Viking burial. So what? Lying in a boat, sailing off into the horizon with all his favorite weapons and worldly possessions?
And the fire slowly consuming it all. Not bad.
I don't know. I'd rather die while making love.
Is this the first time you were scratched or bitten by an infected person?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. I'm talking about the scratches you got in the corridor.
You don't miss a trick, do you?
Not when it comes to injuries. That's what I do for a living, remember? And you didn't answer my question.
It's happened before.
Yeah, to me too. Right at the beginning. But then either it wasn't contagious, or it wasn't transmitted through bites or scratches. Or maybe the incubation period was very long. Anyway, we have to find out. Maybe it's growing inside us, and we must stay away from them for their safety. Before it breaks out while they're around us.
What makes you think I know?
Come on. There's no point in carrying on the charade. It's all right, I won't tell them.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. It can't be a coincidence. It's all right. I know exactly how you feel. Everything's collapsing around me too. All this is new to me. Unlike anything I've seen. Unlike...
And maybe you need to get a grip. Because like I said, as far as I'm concerned, nothing's changed.
You're doing it again. Attacking instead of answering. And I refuse to play the game. I know some things haven't changed, you're right. But there are wounds.
There are wounds that no one can heal. Not a doctor, not a healer, not time, no one. We've rested enough. We're leaving.
Promise me? Promise me that when this is all over, we can try to grow some fish without having to electrocute them?
And tritons and salamanders and
Frogs?
frogs. Anything you want.
Come on, start making the charges. Use them. They already know how to use small arms. It's time to learn how to prepare charges and handle the explosives.
Another answer is volcanic eruptions. Not a single event, but thousands of small ones. Pressure accumulated for millions of years, and then one day, everything is released. The huge force erupts in numerous places, filling the atmosphere with dust and lethal gases, blocking the sun, poisoning the soil, the air, and the water. What's more frightening than the thought of destruction lurking under our feet, coming from the same place we live off, from which we draw our comfort in life and death?
I did it. It worked. I've been trying this for months. It's perfect. Even he can't see it's ineffective. I mean, look, it's small. It's got a remote control. It's got a camera. It's the perfect patrol device. It's perfect.
Nothing you can do with a camera installed on a remote control vehicle.
I knew he'd say that, but mine can climb and descend stairs. Take a look. Check it out. I don't get it. It just worked.
Don't worry, don't give up. You know, one of my professors of medicine used to joke and say that in the book of Genesis, there's actually 2 versions of the creation of man. Because, you know, the first one didn't work out so well, so God tried again.
Well, from what I can see, you didn't do a better job the second time. I guess you released the beta version too early before fixing all the bugs.
The beta version?
Yeah, the beta version. You know, like computer programs, they release versions without fixing the mistakes.
By no means whatsoever. I see he managed to convince you, but believe me, it's too soon. In a few weeks, maybe, when we're certain everyone's dead, but not now.
We talked about loading several tons of equipment and food on some trucks and driving down to a remote location in the desert, somewhere isolated, hundreds of kilometers away from any town, and laying low for a while.
I'm all for it. I mean, look, I devised a plan and I even made a list on how to collect everything. And there's also room.
It's still too soon.
I agree. There's no place they can't reach. And there we have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Wow, you finished it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thanks. Look, this is the cage, and it protects the processing unit.
I think I'm gonna build another one, and I'm gonna make a communication system between them. Then I'll replicate them, and we'll be able to deploy them everywhere. You know, get one-man shifts, rest a little more, and
And we'll have more worthless toys. And time wasted on maintenance and repairs. Okay, 15 minutes rest and then we leave. I'll stand guard while you get ready.
Look, why are you so hard on him? Is that what you consider life's purpose? Always on the go, kill or be killed?
They're coming! They're coming, we're surrounded. This is it, we're trapped.
fuck this! Let's hide in a corner, they'll break in, we finish them off. We have enough charges and ammunition.
Negative. There's too many of them. This must be the end. They become especially aggressive and frenetic just before the end. They can smell and hear from hundreds of yards away, gather within seconds. If we were in a corridor, A narrow killing zone, perhaps, but this way, they'll reach us long before we can do any serious damage.
My love. That's what you are. Always remember that. Love. There's nothing else, you understand?
There's always hope. You just need to take a good look around.
Wait. If they all enter the hall all at once, we simultaneously blow up the charges, stay close to the ceiling.
Yeah, perhaps. It might buy us a few minutes before the next wave. We got nothing to lose. They'll help you deploy the charges. I'll take care of the rest. Why didn't you leave me there? I'm a dead man. We all are.
You're badly hurt, but it's not over yet. She's dead, but you're still alive.
So you're doing this for her? For the idiot? That fucking hypocrite?
Shut your mouth. You hear me? You're not...
I'm not what? Jesus Christ. I'm sick and tired of the pretense and the hypocrisy. What do you think? What was she thinking? What are you all thinking? That if you help your fellow man and simply live and do no wrong, that absolves you from any responsibility for what goes on around you? The essence of life is murder and suffering. Every time you eat to sustain yourself, you're feeding off the death of a living creature.
Plants and animals aren't like that.
Plants? Animals? Every time you turn on the light or drive a car, someone somewhere dies of lung cancer. Every time you buy something for peanuts, Some kid dies in a third world sweatshop.
That's enough. You don't know what you're talking about. You're delirious.
Jesus. Again with the denial. You know I'm dead. But you think like her. That if you treat me, maybe ease my pain, it'll make you a better person. Love, grace, pity. Fuck you. You're doing it for yourself. You're just like her. On the run and killing in an attempt to live and not be killed. No more and no less a murderer than the rest of us.
You can say what you want about me, but don't you dare say anything about her.
Don't dare. Don't dare! Let me tell you something about that bitch. Why do you think I chose her hospital out of all the hospitals, huh? Why? Because it was part of the program. It was a research hospital that was part of the program. I hoped there would be research subjects there. I was curious to know how my project turned out.
No, I don't believe you. I don't.
You knew all along. All this time, you knew.
Oh yeah, I knew. What that little shit said when she blew his brains out was true. I am God. I'm God! I mean, what was that idiot thinking when she killed him? That she's sparing me the pain? That she's keeping me from confronting the truth? That ignorant, phony moron? I know the truth. I know who and what I am. I came up with the idea for the experiment, for Christ's sakes. I set up the meetings. I wrote the memos. I pushed, pressured, persuaded, hinted, contrived, falsified signatures. The head honchos never would have approved it if someone like me hadn't been pulling the strings. This was my baby! The highlight of my career! The entire damned monstrosity of an experiment! It couldn't have been worse. I killed them. All of them. I didn't just pull the trigger. I'm the one that made it all happen. We're all murderers. I'm just a little more successful than most, that's all. But your sister, the saint, sheer perfection, worked at a hospital that took part in an experiment.
No, I don't believe you. She would never have...
Never have what? You stupid bitch. She lived, therefore she was a murderer. You want to save me? You can't. I'm dead. The infected didn't attack me. I contracted it too, right from the start. And it has no cure. I know, because I made sure there wouldn't be one.
It's okay. You're sick. It all makes sense.
We're all sick. We live, therefore we're sick. Life is a disease. We're all murderers. You and him and your sister and your father. You see,
You want to.
We'll do this properly. We'll clean him up and dress him. Then we'll put him in a boat like a Viking nobleman by the book. And we'll find 2 trucks And we'll load them up with everything we need and we'll drive to the desert.
It is possible that no one theory is correct. And maybe they all are. Perhaps it was not just one event, and the end never came from one single source, but a combination of factors, some related and some not. Something damaged the fragile balance of the dinosaur ecosystem. It may have been the dinosaurs themselves. Maybe small rodents. In any case, just then, when they were most vulnerable, a large meteor struck Earth, causing a chain of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions throughout the world. The meteor, the eruptions, the earthquakes, the imbalance. Each of these in itself was not enough, but together they caused everything to collapse. And some say it was all caused by a virus. The truth is, this sounds much more logical.
You wanna do it my